right. Welcome back to Pop Culture, a soda podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Jonathan.
And joining us this week we have...
special guest Ian Murphy.
Yeah! This is my buddy who I think I first talked with you about making a soda podcast before I even really knew you, Jonathan.
Yeah, this was a long time in the making. I'm not gonna try and defeat our host here. He's probably doing a really good job. Knows a lot of his stuff.
I know next to nothing.
We all do. We're just sitting here talking on a microphone. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. That's how it is. And
oh my god.
Speaking of special guests, the drink that we're doing is actually Coca Cola, but
it's a real peach of a Coke.
It's a real peach of a Coke, a Georgia peach of a Coke. I did not know this was a thing. I don't know when it was introduced, but we have Coca Cola Georgia Peach. I have tried this one a couple times. I don't think either of you have tried it yet, have you?
I have not.
You've not. All right, so this is going in blind for them. Mm-hmm. Without spoiling much, this is definitely not bad. So it's Coke. They haven't made a bad one since the 80s, right?
I have yet to actually taste new Coke. Quote new Coke.
What about Tab Clear?
Oh,
Was that before or after the Tab merger?
I don't. No, that was after, because Coca-Cola specifically made Tab Clear.
Oh yeah, that's true.
To kill Crystal
Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Which in itself sadly also died.
Actually, they brought that one back though.
For like a couple months, right?
Yeah. I tried it. I don't know if either of you got to try it. I tried it, and I wasn't mad at it. It tasted... it was probably completely just in my head, but it tasted a little bit different from Pepsi.
A smidge.
Just a little bit.
The only thing I remember from the Crystal Pepsi days is the SNL sketch Crystal Gravy, where it was clear gravy, and they would just put it on food.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like some grade A SNL right there. Well, anyway, to get back from Pepsi onto Coke.
But why would we want to go from that? I mean, Pepsi obviously superior. Everybody knows this.
Oh, yeah.
You listening right here, you know this. Don't try and kid yourself.
Hey, Ian. Actual people died in the Cola Wars.
I have a book of editorial cartoons from like 1982, and they have a whole section for New Coke. And my favorite one is it showed two trains. One is Coke, one is Pepsi. And they're meant to look like old coal-powered locomotives, but instead of coal, they're both shoveling sugar in to make it sweeter than the other.
And some quality stuff.
Quality editorial cartooning right there. Anyway, I think we should just get right into these now.
I would actually like to talk a little bit about the bottle here.
Oh, yeah.
It's your classic Coca-Cola bottle. You know, the iconic curves, the wider in the middle, fatter at the bottom. The only thing that really distinguishes it is the large peach on the middle here, along with all the rest of the information that you usually get. Plus, they added some nice little peach coloring to the cap and to a little band they put around the neck of the bottle.
Oh, this is printed on.
This is printed directly on the bottle. To throw back to the Route 66 lime soda we had, this is an interesting print on the bottle, which you don't see too often in American sodas. By the way, calling back in, I saw more flavors of that at Ace today, and at least one other one has a different landmark on the back, so it wasn't just one that they used for everything. But I only found two other flavors, and one of them just didn't have anything on the back other than nutrition facts. But anyway, yeah, they printed this directly on the bottle. There is a QR code, which I'm guessing is...
Scan here for more food information.
Interesting.
If you'd like to know their secret formula, it's right there. You just have to use a QR code for the first time since 2006.
Yep, and the peach itself, right on the band, is a lovely monochromatic, done in a style of woodcutter engraving. So it's pretty classy looking.
Trying to fancy up this, beverage here.
I have no idea when this was introduced. I found it in the same section that had the Mexican Fanta and the Goya Malta in my local giant supermarket.
Don't forget that classic Inca Cola.
Oh, classic! Yeah. They were out of stock, but they also have the Inca Cola there. So it's kind of like the international section.
It's basically the international section.
The international section. Anyway, yeah, I think we should open these up now.
Are these twist off?
These are not twist off, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure not. Looking directly at the head, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah,
although
Coke does not do twist offs all that often.
At least not on their older varieties.
There we go. this open without destroying it. There we go. That's gonna be one for the
It's gonna be
collection.
one for the ages.
I think mine's pretty good if you want it.
Oh yeah, thanks. Nice. If you both listen to this podcast and have found the Facebook page, you should know I shared a brief video of my bottle cap display of all the ones we've covered so far. So this is going to be going there.
It smells like peach.
Yeah, they get the smell really well.
You know what? Hang on. Unprecedented. I'm leaving the recording, and I'm going to come back with something.
Whoa.
We're making history. This is the first time it's happened.
Here we go.
He's leaving the studio.
Come on. You got to do the banter when I'm gone.
It's the banter. Classic banter of the guy who just started this thing.
Here we go. So I guess some background here. For context, I only really met Jonathan a few months ago, maybe a year ago tops, and only recently started what's the word, doing things together with him, collaborating with him on various projects. But Ian here, we've known each other since, I want to say,
second grade,
second or third grade. My mom just said third grade in some.
Actually, it is more third grade because that's when I really met our mutual friend whose name I forget because I haven't thought about him in 12 years or more.
Yeah, we had a friend named John Meyer, who he was in a military family, so he left it was Alaska.
Oh.
Where you have
there's the peach.
These real peaches here.
Yeah.
Nice. But anyway, yeah, Ian and I, we go way back, and just independently both discovered a love of craft and unusual sodas. But we have real peach here.
Yeah, I recently got a box of peaches.
Now, are these Georgian peaches?
They're from California, unfortunately. But a peach is a peach.
Yuppie peach.
You know, this one's lied next to the avocados. I'm not so sure. I like ones that, go into bed with oranges, at least. Down there in the...
But never apples. Don't compare the two.
No.
No. God forbid.
All right, so now we have. So do you want to? I guess we'll compare those
afterward. I was thinking.
Yeah, after we enjoy a nice, refreshing Coca Cola Peach, we can have a real peach.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's see. I've had this before. I want you guys' first impressions on this.
As we said before, this smell does have really good peach taste.
Tastes like Coke. That classic Coke taste with. Yeah.
They didn't alter the formula too much. They kind of just added to it.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It's basically Coke just with peach.
Yeah.
All right, so when I got it, I'm like, yeah, this is the basic Coke flavor. The whole basic nothing you get when you drink a Coke, the pure standard of what you think of a cola. But then that peach flavor, once the fizz starts to die down, that peach flavor really starts to move forward, and it's like, ooh, that is just a nice peach flavor.
It settles all around your mouth after it kicks in.
And then just kind of sitting here after a while, the first drink is just kind of it's there on my tongue a bit.
Yeah, actually,
staying around a bit. It's just a nice, pleasant after flavor.
I just noticed this now, but the way the stickiness of the sugar kind of sticks to your mouth with the peach flavor as the aftertaste, it kind of feels like you've got peach nectar in your mouth.
Oh yeah,
I never noticed that before.
Ooh, I just love that. It hits the top, it hits the tip of your tongue. You get that real sweet peach taste, and like Brian, you were saying, it actually gives a little bit of that peach texture as well. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice how they managed to do that. Yeah.
Now you, Jonathan, were you in Georgia at some point?
I used to live down there.
Yeah, you used to live in. So you grew up with peaches, I'm assuming, right? In some regard.
Yeah,
you live in Georgia. Your blood is peach juice. You know peaches better than all of us.
I mean, I think I lived in Massachusetts longer than Georgia, so.
But I knew you were there at some point, which is why I specifically wanted this one to get your opinion on it.
Nice belch potential we get there. The thing.
Coke,
Fizz is okay.
Coke, tends to be on the higher carbonation side of things.
Yes,
yeah,
that is true. Yeah, I guess Georgia Peaches also works because their primary bottling plant is in Atlanta, correct? So they don't have to go far for these.
I just realized a mistake in the methodology.
What's that?
The Coke's too sweet.
Oh.
I took a bite of the peach.
Oh no!
And now. Well, yeah, of course that's going to taste better. It has so much more sugar.
Yeah.
It's got all the additives and stuff.
Yeah, I think I got to wait a while before I take another bite of that.
Mother Nature just cannot compare to the man-made power of destroying your teeth and body with sugar.
Yep. The only exception is chewing on an actual sugar cane. That is the exception.
Oh boy.
But yeah, also, I don't think I explained this to you, but we do have a 3-point plus total grading scale that we have been using. We judge this based off of taste, then the balance and smoothness is the second one, and then drinkability, which is kind of that X factor of what does it feel like when you drink it in your mouth, stomach, everywhere besides taste. And then we figure out which of those, we figure out what of those is the most important factor, factored all together, and that's how we get a total score. It's between 1 and 10, not just like 1, I mean 1 is the worst, 10 is the best, but it's an average curved scale. So 5 is not bad, 5 is perfectly average.
It's like the Sprite.
Yeah, we determined that Sprite is basically the most average soda.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like would you have a Sprite? Yeah, sure.
Would I turn down a cold Sprite on a hot day? Never. But would I take a lukewarm Sprite when I've already drank something else? Maybe not. It's pretty average.
Man, as a math major, I love the fact that I'll probably have to do differential equations to figure out what the numbering system of our soda is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, good luck. It's mostly just throwing shit at the wall and we get a number at the end. It's...
Are you saying that's not what differential equations is?
I can't speak for math, so that's... You know what? You're probably right. But yeah, it's a pretty... It's a system I came up a while ago when I was just writing these down for fun on my phone. When I'd go into way too much detail onto the specific ingredients of root beer.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, are we losing...
No, my computer might restart because of a Windows update.
Oh my god!
Thanks, Windows 10.
We saw the notification, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh
Thanks, Windows 10, you're a good friend.
Oh god, that's
fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Here it comes.
Time for the legally required weekly reminder, I cannot burp.
You're under contract, Brian.
Yeah, so this is gonna...
I've known this man for over a decade. I cannot pull up a single time in my memory when this man has belched.
I can count on maybe one hand the number of times I have, and all of them were involuntary and random.
I can count the number of times he's almost killed me. I can't count the number of times he's burped.
Okay, there is context to that.
Don't give them that context.
And it's not just you that I've nearly killed in this method. I can probably count on one hand the number of different people I've nearly killed with this. So we were both
I gotta not drink.
Yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, don't drink anymore. That's how it happened. So when we were about 12-ish.
Oh shit, is that my...
Oh.
That's my bad.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Course. Anyway, but when we were about...
Recording ruined and you gotta restart, rebottle these things.
I don't know. I don't think it picked up.
There we go. Anyway, yeah, when we were 12 or 13-ish, we were playing a round of HeroScape in your living room, and I was explaining how the road tiles negated elevation adds when you're moving, because it's easier to walk on that. And then I just you were in the middle of sipping something. I just remember it was red. Whatever it was you were sipping, it was red.
The blood of my enemies.
And I said, which would you rather walk up? A mountain of concrete or a mountain of grass? And you lost your shit for some reason, and you nearly choked to death on your drink.
This is the first time, right? This has happened several times.
I forget all the other ones. I know they happened, but I forget the specifics. But that
it's basically the same thing. I'm drinking a drink, and then you tell a joke.
It wasn't even something I thought would be particularly funny, but I guess just in that context, at that moment, it was funny. And it nearly
just like improv. Retelling it in a podcast, zero entertainment value.
Yeah, you had to be there. You had to be there in our homeschooling living room. Playing a forgotten children's tabletop game.
Like father, like son.
But that will happen from time to time as we drink.
You know how many times your boy nearly killed me?
Oh my god. What has happened with that?
So he was basically doing something almost as bad as talking on your cell phone while driving.
Oh.
In a Discord chat.
Isn't that basically
on his cell phone?
Talking on his cell phone
while driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just had to show off how badass he was to everyone in the server while I was there. So he started going 50 and a 35 and almost ran a red light.
Oh my god.
He also ran a stop sign.
I should add, this is not my biological or adopted son. This is merely a friend of ours who's only like 1 or 2 years younger than me, but the joke was, my last girlfriend and I, we both would call him a good kid whenever we were introducing him. It's like, yeah, he's a good kid. I'm like, sounds like I'm talking about my son. He is now my son. So, yeah, Dakota is my son, even though he's only, like, 2 years younger than me.
It's strange how much he's picked up in so little time.
Yep, there we go. Anyway, getting back on track, I guess we should probably discuss the taste before we've completely finished this.
One thing to note, this thing is actually kind of higher up on the sugar values. Got like 37 grams of sugar. It's starting to feel that classic coating of my teeth from the higher sugar drinks.
This man here, Ian, he actually keeps better track of the ingredients than I do on these, so you'll bring up sugar content when I'm just like, this is sweet and doesn't taste like fructose corn syrup.
Look, like when I first got into college, I'm like, man, I could drink sodas all the damn time. That'd be great. After doing it like for like 2 weeks or whatever, I'm like, oh my god, I feel terrible. So I stopped doing that. Now I'll drink like 1 soda a day, and even then, I'm trying to kind of watch my intake just a bit. Trying to watch myself. So I'm actually looking at the sugar intake that I'm taking. And sodas actually have a really high sugar content.
Yeah.
Some of them can spike really high. Like I know Sprecher's, their non-alcoholic sodas can sometimes spike up to like almost 50 grams per like serving, and their bottles are 2 servings. So if you have the whole bottle, you get like 100 grams of sugar in it.
Yeah, that's like over twice your daily recommended.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
It is insane, just like how much some sugar gets. Although some can be pleasantly very low. Like the other day, me and Brian had another one of those. What was it called again?
It was the Fentimans, Dandelion, and Burdock.
Yeah.
You may remember we discussed Fentimans Cherry in a previous episode. It's very botanical, a lot of natural ingredients in there.
I stand by what I said, 7-layer dip soda.
Yeah, it is the 7-layer dip soda.
I won't argue with you.
Yeah, you can't. It's very true. When you try one, you'll understand if you can get your hands on one.
You can go to your local weird store and get a...
They're probably got more. They popped up in the Giant, and then a couple months later, I started noticing them at Total Wine.
Oh, I had a Fentimans in the wild. While I was on vacation to Chicago.
Nice.
There was a Nando's there.
Ah.
And for those of you uninformed, Nando's is a UK-based fast food chain that serves chicken wings.
Cheeky Nando's.
Yeah. No, but they had Fentimans there.
Nice. Well, it is British, if we recall. It's British. But yeah, the Dandelion Burdock. Do you remember what it was?
It was like 18 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Truthfully, to be fair, they do have like a 3-ounce less than usual. Those are like 9-10 ounces, but it's still pretty small for sodas.
Absolutely, it showed. That was not a in-your-face one. We might talk about that one in a future episode because it's a really bizarre flavor.
It was
good, but bizarre.
It is quite the experience to talk about.
But anyway, talking about this flavor, for taste, for flavor here.
The Coke Georgia Peach, for those of you forgetful types.
I've already forgotten because we've talked about it for like 20% of this episode. I gotta...
Well, I mean, Brian, every podcast with a guest is like a throwaway episode.
Basically.
Yeah, the guest will always be more interesting than the soda.
That's why we gotta get him in. We gotta get him in this because this man knows probably more about soda than I do, and I was the quote unquote resident expert beforehand. So.
Yeah, and the only reason why he keeps me around is because I do all the technical work.
You understand stuff that I have no grasp on.
He is the microphone guy.
Yeah.
Sound goes in and signal comes out. That's all I understand about recording.
Anyway, back about the peach.
The peach. So, on our average base tasting scale, let me take one more nice little sip here and savor it.
I get that. All up, swish it around.
Taking into account, that's a 10. I wouldn't give this a 10, but definitely above average here.
I'd give it a 7, honestly.
That's what I had in my mind.
Like
a 7.
I mean, it's Coke, but with a twist. So you're not going to get very much higher than the base score you'd give Coke.
Yeah. Some people, the twist might even lower it. For me, it raises it a little bit because I like a little fruity twist sometimes in my soda.
Some of Coke's twists have been more hit or miss for me. Like, I do not like dark cherry Coke. Okay. I don't know why people like it. I think it's repulsive and disgusting. I'd probably give that one a 3 or 4. But this one, I like. They do it right.
Yeah. No, 7 is exactly where I was going with it because it's a really interesting flavor. It's a very specific flavor. I mean, peach is peach is peach, but this really tastes like peach. It's not just like how grape flavor is nothing like grape. This is really peachy peach. So yeah, because I don't. It's not the best flavor ever, but the execution of it is excellent. So 7, a solid or a high 7 is what I'd give this. How about you?
I would actually give this an 8. Now this is probably going to be a little weird because the outlier here, the much higher one. I'm just going to start off to say that I love cola taste, so Coca-Cola is just going to, as a base taste, just going to rate higher for me.
Absolutely.
So like the initial Coke flavor, I'm like, yeah, this is the good familiar Coca-Cola taste, and then it's that transition really for me. It's like it goes to Coca-Cola taste, and then you get that little bit more sweetness, makes it taste a little bit more like Pepsi, and then oh man, that peach flavoring comes in. Completely changes the entire taste, just kind of elevates the whole thing because of that transition. Like, the two states by themselves, if I were to drink it, I'd be like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. It's that transition, though, where they kind of actually complement each other a little bit. Like, you get that roundness of the Coke transitioning to the more sharpness of the peach. Just elevates it, the whole deal, just a little bit more higher than everything else.
Absolutely. And I should add, he mentioned, you just said that you like a cola. I will say this man knows his colas possibly better than I know my root beers.
Oh, that's a hard thing to say though.
I mean, you were talking about colas because to you most root beers taste the same. For me, most colas are in the same ballpark. I can't differentiate them enough. Coke, Pepsi, I can tell the difference between those two, but it gets tougher after that. So you've tasted so much. You keep dropping names that I've never even heard of, and I
stuff that I can't even find anymore. To my chagrin, I might have to order it on Amazon after Amazon Day ends.
Yeah, so that's why I really wanted to. So I wanted a more rounded discussion of this because I don't have the background in cola as much as you do. I've got the root beer, you've got the cola, so we get a more interesting discussion on this.
The background in cola. I studied for years at Cornell, drinking the cola. Examining its history, going to see the nuts themselves, extracting the prime pulpy juice.
I've got a major in root beer with a minor in sarsaparilla. But yeah, so that's for flavor. I think we can agree that it's in the ballpark of 7 or 8. That's pretty consistent.
High marks.
Yeah, pretty high marks.
Right.
That ranks pretty highly. Next would be the balance and complexity. This is how it's all layered together. And you've already brought this up in your discussion of flavor because they really are intertwined. They're just separate enough that I differentiate. But they did a really good job of putting the peach in there. It's not Coke Peach at the same time or like here's just different Coke. It's Coke, then peach. And you really end on the peach. You start with the Coke, you end on the peach. You have this swing of flavor that I think of in my head when I'm trying a soda. Is this flat or does it swing? Does it just the one flavor all the way through, or is it multiple? And there's at least 2. You mentioned the kind of Pepsi in between flavor. Yeah, you could probably.
But I only say that because it got sweet. It got Coke sweeter, which is the strongest differentiation between Pepsi and Coke.
I think an argument could be made that there is a subtle third flavor between the Coke and the peach. That could just be them blending together, but they blend together well. This is a well layered soda. It is very smooth going from flavor to flavor. I would rate this one at least an 8 on that, maybe a 9 because I think it's been a very long time since I've had a soda where the flavor is mixed in. Again, this is not just saying the quality of the flavor itself. This is just how the flavor is presented with other flavors and how how it's executed in its delivery and its balance. So that's why I rate it a really high 8, maybe a 9. I think I'm going to go with a low 9 actually for the balance and smoothness on this one. Now, Jonathan, you've already finished yours. But what do you have to say on
okay.
this?
I already finished mine because it's just so hot in here.
Yeah.
Not
I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, it's like
this wasn't another Satsuma Fizz where
this
we
was not another
it.
Satsuma Fizz. The temperature does help drinkability a lot.
Yep.
No, but it's near seamless, the transition between Coke and Peach. But for other reasons, which will be relevant later, I gotta give this one a 7.
That's acceptable. I can see that.
My complaints for smoothness and blend do not necessarily have to do with the smoothness and blend.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a very good execution.
Yeah.
But I will come back to that when we move on to our next category.
Absolutely. And you brought this up, but if you had to put a number on it, what do you think you would do?
I would say that the things blended very, very well. This is just the advantage of having it bottled. Having the bottled syrups and mixing it in like a more controlled environment, you get that real nice mixture, get that real nice sharp distinct differences. I would give this another like pretty high, probably a little bit more like an 8.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm kind of reaching high on mine because I've got this background soda, and I've tasted a lot of poorly executed, multi-blended sodas. So this is
any one of those 100 flavor sodas you get at like Popeyes or whatever, you mix all the different flavors. That is just the worst.
If you mixed the peach flavoring at a Coke Freestyle machine just with Coke, you would not get this. This is different.
Yeah, I specifically stated that's like it was. Like coming out of a bottle just makes it so much better because when you're doing it like in that store, they don't mix very well. They're just two different syrups that don't mix at all.
Nope.
Which makes it like just I'm drinking a lime Coke. I'm getting both flavors at once. It's just kind of muddled it or whatever.
Yeah, we should probably do a whole episode, just a bonus episode on that sometime because some of those flavors they taste good, but they are flat.
And I can tell you guys the ultimate poison that I had once with that.
Yeah, I want that story recorded. That's a funny one.
Anyway, now for the final.
Drinkability is the next one. This is that X factor. How does it feel in your gut, in your mouth, anything that isn't flavor. That is what drinkability is, and this is an interesting one for me.
I already know I'm going to be the outlier here.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one... I still think it's above average, but barely. This one is the lowest score for me. This one might be as low as a 6, because as delicious as this is, as well executed as it is, the longer I drink it, the more I'm feeling on my teeth, like more so than normal. I'm feeling it in my gut because I can't burp. This is a very heavily carbonated soda, and as it's warmed up, it definitely should be drank cold. As it warms up, it kind of loses some of its great appeal. It's still good, but it's not quite as good now that it's warmed up. So that's why that's my explanation for giving it. It's probably a high 6, but it's a 6.
Now this is where we're going to disagree a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving this a high 3, low 4 for drinking for this because you're right about the sugar. I'm definitely feeling it around my teeth, and the carbonation and foaminess of this, I think, is just too high. It's not a problem specifically to this Coke, but for Coke in general.
Yeah.
I feel like it. Yeah. I mean, you've already heard many more belches than normal. But
well, that's one more person who can burp. So
yeah. No, but I've done it once, and I've suppressed it twice. Maybe it picks up, but I was definitely trying to not.
I've had chest gurgles that weren't burps, but it's the closest thing I can have to burps.
I just think it's too carbonated, it's too foamy, and that plays much into its demise.
Shit, what we should have done? We should have poured some of it out into a cup to let it flatten out a bit.
We probably should have.
I mean, we do have a 4th.
So maybe I don't know if I can drink more
bonus
of this
content. Support our Patreon at.
Support our currently non-existent Patreon.
I swear, the day this makes money.
Yep, that'll be amazing.
The day this makes money to buy a soda to review the next podcast.
Yeah, we made enough money from Patreon to buy one more soda.
Oh yeah, speaking of, our content's already been stolen.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
It was ripped and re-uploaded to another website.
What the hell?
I'm not kidding.
How did this happen?
Finally, the internet works.
Someone deemed specifically episode 3 to do this to. No other episode.
Which one was that again?
I have no fucking clue.
Wait.
You should have brought the bottle cap thing.
That was that the...
That was
Baja
after
Blast, Cheerwine, and...
That was the,
Oh, that was the double.
Sparkling cider.
No, that was the...
3, right?
No. That was the double.
That was 4.
I think this was the 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Satsuma Fizz and a late one.
I think so. Yeah. And then we did Sparkling Cider right after that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the double episode. I mean, to be fair, the best soda was in that episode. But where did they put it? What?
It was some weird website according to YouTube analytics.
Huh. Oh yeah, those Russians getting in on that pop culture content.
So if we ever show up on some document in some Senate hearing, you heard it here first. So we were not involved.
No, we were not.
Ooh. Anyway, back to the full review.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
Give us, you've given us some of our reasoning here.
Yeah, I just feel like to its detriment, it's too carbonated. It affects the drinking experience too much, and this is not a problem specific to this drink, but to Coke drinks in general.
So that's something to be aware of, that if that is something that is an issue for you with Coke, this is not going to be any different. But if that's not an issue for you, it's not going to be any different. Anyway, now your opinion, Ian.
It is a Coke product, so anything that you like about Coke, about its drinkability or taste or anything, it is going to bring over. I mean, this is just a byproduct of it. Drinkability, I would actually kind of rate this much lower than everything else. Sitting here for a while after letting it sit, it's really sitting heavy in my stomach. It's starting to make me go, that was probably not the best plan for me to do. This doesn't sit light and airy in your stomach. So it's like if you're eating this with if you're drinking this with something, you might just get way more bloated. If you can't belch for whatever reason, be it like politely or not, you would want to steer clear from this.
Yeah.
Well, no, like in all seriousness, like if you're with someone who doesn't like you belching and you have to like suppress belches, don't want to suppress that many belches, do not drink this drink. This is really fizzy. It's actually kind of on the fizzier side even for Coke, I believe. That might just be because it's more of that bottle in the bottle stuff, so it's a lot more like the classic Mexican Coke, which is generally a little bit more fizzier in my what's it called?
Opinion?
Oh yeah, in my opinion experience, I don't remember words all that much. So this drinkability is more like a 4 or 5, 4.5 probably less. Like this was actually kind of fine, but it does the drink itself was really good. It was a nice flavorful experience, but the rest of the drink itself is kind of making me a little worried about having it in the future. I'm kind of not looking forward to the aftermath of the next drink, kind of thinking about when I'm going to be having it now. It's more of a thing to put into another situation rather than just having it as a drink with friends or...
It's kind of a one and done. You have it and then you don't want to eat or drink anything for a while. What's really odd right now is the one who can't burp. I'm feeling the stomach settling, just it's slowly passing already for me. I don't know if it's just my gut is finding other ways to deal with all that excess carbonation, but...
Listen for the next podcast when he farts all the time.
yeah, but it's watch, that'll actually happen.
What are you talking about? That'll be 1 week from now.
Yeah. A week from now, when the effects of this carbonation are finally hitting me.
We do not record these in batches.
Of course
we
not.
record one every week and upload it the same week we record it.
Speaking of which, you'll be here same time next week, right?
Same time, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, you'll be here next week. But I don't know why, but it's already getting better for me. I guess my body is just acclimated to dealing with carbonation quickly without burping. But the teeth, the sugar teeth, I still have that right now. I've got a residue all over the roof of my mouth. Yeah, I would not have more than one of these in a 24-hour period. I probably only have a couple of these a week. This is no a late one. You can't just drink one of these when you're walking around a carnival. you wanna sit down and enjoy this one slowly. I don't think I'd even pair it with any food, unless it's something really light. Maybe popcorn, unbuttered popcorn.
Maybe a good movie theater soda.
Yeah,
if you're gonna be sitting for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Watching your movie about something that happens in Georgia. I don't know.
Boss Baby 2.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, something like that. Gone with the Wind.
That's
perfect.
Gone with the Wind. That's not.
Don't they burn?
Yeah, that's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That is, they do
when they
mention Sherman's March.
When they burned the King Kong set for that movie. But yeah, so I guess that leads us to our final score now, and we've all finished drinking. Normally we get to this a little sooner. It's been kind of roundabout today, but final score. So this is not just a perfect average of all the numbers. You're gonna figure out what number or numbers are most important to you, and you're giving it a score, and then you account for those when you get the average. So for me, I gave this 1 9. I gave this 1 really high 7 and 1 medium 6. I think I'm gonna see what that's medium 6. But for me, that drinkability issue, personally, I think this is not the same for everyone, but personally, that drinkability issue is nominal. I've had worse. I've had way worse. But I have had a lot better. So let's see. I think I'm gonna lean toward. A 7 on this one, a high 7, because the flavor I think was most important for me on this one, and so I'm averaging that, and I'm heavily weighting that, and I'm gonna go with a solid 7 on this one as an overall score. So would recommend, but with the caveat, it's heavy.
I'm gonna do it in the same vein as you, although not as high.
Yep.
At most, I could give this a 6.
Acceptable.
I feel like, unlike you, the drinkability issue for me is not nominal. I just feel like it's like, again, this is an issue for all Coca-Cola drinks and not this. And at this point, I feel like it's more an emblem of the brand, so they can't really afford to fix it, because that's what you expect. Coke is a classic now.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I got to give this one a 6.
Acceptable. That's still decently above average, especially for a very mass-produced soda. And now the opinion that I think is going to matter most of this cola-centric episode.
Me, the king of cola.
A resident cola expert and friend of the show.
Quote us on that. He knows everything about cola.
Yes, of course. Obviously, you're doing a documentary. You come to me first. Me, this random nobody in Podunk, nowhere, Illinois, where I live, of course. So all in all, this is kind of what you get on the box. It's Coca-Cola with that little bit of Georgia Peach taste. It would kind of surprise me how well it was mixed together. Usually when you get a bottle Coke mix, it's pretty good, but this one just kind of stood out amongst all the rest. I do think that all the rest of the drinkability issues does bring it down a little bit. Not too much, because for this one, if you're going to go for this one, you're going to go for the flavor itself and not necessarily everything else. I would give this a 7, just like my friend here, because I scored it mostly high 8s, and that drinkability is not going to help it push up to a 9 overall. This is a pretty good 8. I would say definitely search this out, drink it up, get a movie party together, have some pretzels, maybe some popcorn if you're going to have that. But then just watch a film, have a nice little drink on the side. Coca-Cola, Georgia Peach would be a good shot for that.
I should point out that for anyone planning on serving this to guests, it is currently sold only in 4-packs, so just keep that in mind. It's not in a 6-pack. I guess it's not quite mainstream enough to go for the 6-pack. So just keep that in mind. If you are hosting a party, you may need to get multiple of these if you're inviting more than 2 or 3
You may need to
people.
complain to Coca-Cola and other soda makers to get more than 4-packs. You sissies.
Start a letter writing campaign.
Yeah, we'll have a chain letter out. You can photocopy it.
Phone your
fax it
congressman. Tell them.
Forward this to 5 people, or else you'll get the hose again.
We got to make this a campaigning issue during the 2018 midterms.
I'm going to run for town council on the issue of Coca-Cola Georgia Peach should come in 6-packs.
I feel like we are a neglected part of the constituency, that our needs have not been addressed for some time now, and I feel like the only way to change this in mainstream politics is to elect our own candidates. Please support Brian Lind for city council in the 2018 midterm elections.
There we go.
He is officially endorsed by the Soda Boys podcast.
Which is a completely different podcast.
We're the Soda Boys. I forgot to tell you.
Oh yeah, shit. We're pop culture.
We're pop culture, but it is the Soda Boys podcast. So
unless that comic strip from the web has an issue.
For more context, my friend, we're looking around, a little webcomic
called the Soda Boys. It's just an I assume MS Paint. I don't want to say it's MS Paint, or else we might face some issues, but assumed MS Paint style webcomic where it's typically 4 to 5 or 3 to 5 panels of just stylistically drawn stick figures. And they just say the randomest shit, and it doesn't make sense to me, but it has a following of a couple thousand.
I assume that's what some people think what XKCD is.
I think this is more of like a Sonichu situation.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Peebo and Jeff levels of ironicness for that.
Yeah, but we haven't seen or heard any issues from them so far.
Yeah.
So they stay on their side of the fence. We stay on our side of the fence.
We should start actively advertising our podcast
We
on
should.
the subreddit.
We should start actively agitating
Yeah.
them.
Just poking them with a big old stick. Just saying, hey, we're the Soda Boys now.
Oh man, that will garner so much attention. You'll just get all the people coming in listening to the podcast.
There's gonna be a Kotaku article by the end of the
Oh
week.
yeah, we need our. It's gonna be Sodagate. Wait, we've only had. Wait, we out of the 4 people that have showed up, we've only had 1 woman.
Yeah.
So that's like some Gamergate-esque stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
I guess we don't have enough
Sexism?
representation. Yep.
Okay, one of us has to become the resident misogynist, and then we'll start gathering the attention. We gotta like pull a Weinstein.
I think we should have a resident Alex Jones as well, who's just ranting.
Oh my god, I just thought of this. This is a drink-centric podcast. One of us needs to be Bill Cosby.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay, maybe that's a bit too far.
That's a bit too far.
All right, so I think we should end off on that glorious note.
Yeah.
The whole...
Wait, no, we're not done yet. We're arriving at my favorite segment.
Oh yeah.
The plugs.
No. I wish we had something to plug. I wish.
That'll be the day.
That'll be I swear, the day we have to plug something. The day
It's gonna be great.
the day we make money off this bullshit.
You hear that, Dragon Dildos? We're looking for a sponsor.
Oh man, now it's time for Teeny Weenies from Bad Dragon.
Oh god. No, but it's the King of the Hill
Oh yes.
Battle
How could I forget?
Royale.
Now, unfortunately, I don't think Ian here can fully participate as he hasn't tried all the drinks. I mean, you can
Well,
say.
you don't have to try all the drinks.
Yeah,
You just
try
have
all
to
of
try the reigning champion and then the latest one.
Now, have you tried Satsuma Fizz by Swamp Pop?
I think I have. Which variety was that? I've
That's-
drinking several Swamp
It's called
Pops before.
Satsuma Fizz. It's like a yellowish one, I think.
It's orange.
Was it
yellow.
at Ace Hardware?
It was at one point, yes.
I did have that.
Okay, do you remember it?
I remember enough to know that I think I liked it slightly better than this one.
That's, I believe, what the whole
Yeah.
opinion is going to be.
This Georgia Peach thing was pretty good, but
Yeah.
I would definitely not rate it like that highly among some of the better sodas.
And that's why Satsuma Fizz is still, I guess this
Hey,
is like...
wait, it's not still.
Yeah.
We haven't gone down the line, Brian.
Okay,
we
what
need to
do
hear
you-
what you say. What do you think?
Okay, I think... You really want to know what I think? I think taking into account all the factors, taking into account drinkability, flavor, and mixing and overall...
You add up all the math, you do the analytics.
Punch the numbers, and yeah, Satsuma Fizz. Satsuma Fizz
Yeah,
is better.
yeah, obviously.
And I feel like...
It's our highest rated for a reason. I
Yeah.
think our only 9 to date.
Yeah, our only solid 9.
Yeah.
So that's
I
for a
mean,
reason. It is good.
Satsuma Fizz, still reigning champion.
Yeah.
The body count just keeps going higher.
I was trying to think how many it's beaten now, because that was in the first like 3 or 4 episodes, and it just annihilated everything.
Yeah, I mean, this I think has come the closest.
Yeah,
The
I would
closest to
agree. I would agree.
yeah. But I feel bad now. It's like Satsuma Fizz is this giant. He's just punching downward
Yeah.
to everybody else who's come up.
We'll have to, when we come to the last episode, we might have to bring just one more bottle on, pour ourselves each a little cup of it, and taste it again to make sure we still are remembering this in the fairness of whatever, maybe next season when we're doing like a head-to-head between reigning champions.
7 months from now, we'll have to retaste Satsuma Fizz and be like, oh wait, this tastes like garbage.
Distilled garbage juice put through a soda stream. That's gonna be a Lester's Fixins flavor by the end of the year.
Oh no.
It's gonna be right up there with ranch.
Oh my god, ranch.
We're gonna have to try that at one point.
I did, but I was drunk and it tasted good. And then I tried it when I was sober and it tasted awful.
We gotta taste it again for the podcast.
Yeah, oh god.
I won't be on that episode.
No, I think what we should do is just pour out a Dixie cup of actual ranch. Because it'll probably taste better. And then drink that.
This has better consistency, you know?
And at least you could dip shit in that.
Now, man, double header with Lester's Fixins,
Wait,
ranch, and
wait.
wings.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
We have a ranch soda.
Yep.
And typically you dip celery in ranch and eat it.
Oh my god.
We also have celery soda.
Yeah.
Maybe mix the
mix it
two.
Ian brought up we have, we don't have, but there's the wings flavor. We can pour that.
Oh!
Or we do, we do a crossover. We pour the ranch soda under real wings, and then we pour the real wings into real ranch, or the soda wings into ranch, and see which one's the better combo.
And then you'll hear us puke for
fucking
miles
God.
around.
We're not doing this in here.
Nope.
We got to do that outside.
We go to a sports bar for the full immersive experience.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine with us just setting up all that crap at a sports bar.
Just constantly shouting at them to shut the fuck up.
You know, wait, we actually do have a sports-ish, bar-ish place we could do that.
Which one are you thinking of?
The Ratskeller.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that they do in fact show sports on the TV, and if you go in during
And
the
there
middle
is
of
a
the day,
bar.
There's a bar.
They serve beer and wine.
It's like the only place on campus you can get it, right?
Yeah, the only place.
Yeah.
So it is technically a sports showing bar.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's also quiet half the time though.
It also shows news.
Yeah.
Most of the time, actually.
Yeah.
Just don't go on game day. That's all. That's all you need.
And the outlets don't work because
there's
my laptop.
there's one outlet.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
It works.
It does work? When
Yeah.
I was there, it didn't work. I plugged
I
it
was
in,
there
didn't do anything.
I was there last semester. It worked.
Okay, I took that semester off, so I guess they fixed it. The one time I tried to plug my laptop in at the Ratskeller at George Mason University's Fairfax campus, it did not work. But that was about a year ago, so.
Now we just got a daisy chain like power surgers, protectors to just get
Oh
it
yeah.
There we go.
From that to a booth.
Get a huge extension cable leading from outside.
Yeah.
Maybe even from the other building, Robinson B.
Now, even if we don't have a camera, we got to get like a green screen backdrop or like print out a banner that has a logo on it and our name.
Perfect for our podcast.
Yeah.
Brian, you still had to do the art.
I still have to fucking draw this thing. I feel
Come
bad.
on,
I haven't actually
We need it.
drawn it. The Facebook page currently is just a photograph of the Satsuma Fizz
What?
Swamp Pop.
Why?
Because it's the current reigning champion.
We're not
I
allowed
figured-
to use that?
It's just a photo of that. Okay, yeah, I should probably change that. If you hear this, it's probably been changed already.
We're not allowed to use that, Brian. We're gonna get sued.
I'll change it before more than 2 people, including myself, have liked that page.
Oh boy.
I think we should just change the logo to the Coca Cola logo. I think that'll go over real well.
No, we should change it to the Washington Redskins logo. It has brand recognition.
Speaking of Washington stuff, I might be a little loopier today than normal. I did not get much sleep last night because I was actually at the All-Star Home Run Derby at Nationals Park until like I got home like after midnight because traffic sucked. I got to see Bryce Harper kick ass. It was pretty cool. And then I had a really early shift unloading a truck at 6 a.m. this morning, so I got about 3.5 hours in between, and you're seeing me running on fumes from that. So if I'm a little eccentric more so today than usual, that is why.
Bryce Harper, related to Stephen Harper, Prime Minister of Canada, preceded by Justin Trudeau. Totally legit fact right there.
Just, yep, legit facts. That is the legit facts section of pop culture.
Yeah.
There we go. It's the culture for pop culture.
Yeah, look it up. It's true. How great would that actually be if it was true?
That would be amazing if it was
Well,
true.
yeah. Actually,
for anyone concerned, also, Thomas Jefferson won the president's race.
yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah, at Nats Park.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
they do
no.
that president's
Wait,
race.
what's the one that always loses? Roosevelt?
Yep, Teddy.
Yeah.
And he's actually won 3 times since 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, why did he always lose? I never got that.
I don't know. It was funny, though.
All right.
That's just the thing.
Yeah.
Shirts that said,
Yeah.
let Teddy win.
Okay, well, I guess that wraps everything up.
Yep, that wraps everything up. Thank you for listening. If you're still there, yeah, Coca Cola Georgia Peach. It's good, but don't drink more than 1 bottle of it.
Yep.
You'll regret it.
I've been Jonathan Dwan,
I've been Brian Lint.
Special guest Ian Murphy.
friend of the show,
Yeah.
and resident cola expert.
Yep, possible recurring character. You don't know. He might be here a week from now. He might show up at the same time 1 week from now.
Maybe, because, again, we record these individually not in bulk.
This is recorded 2 hours before posted online.
You know, I actually started using the scheduled upload feature.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Because I stopped rendering everything in 1080p 60 FPS For some reason, I thought that was a good idea.
We need the highest quality rotating fruit images.
Nah, man, we just gotta go 144p. Get that lowest quality, lowest bit rate.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 1440 for a second. That 2.5K.
Oof.
Oh man.
Oof.
Biggest oof.
I think we should only have this downloadable in QuickTime.
QuickTime.
Get
No.
it on a Flash.
Yeah. Encode it in Flash. Oh my god, that'd be such a pain. Oh my god.
You have to torrent this now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Only peer-to-peer. Wait, what's that peer-to-peer file sharing service that was on it was like Google Drive, except you could do it with other people and all you had to do was like share the hash code. And it was like
Mega?
No, not Mega. No, there's some really, really old not old, but it was some program.
Kazaa, you thinking of? Or?
Oh, it was like Bit something. And I used to use it all the time to share files with people, but then they started charging for it, and I'm like, I uninstalled it.
Are you talking about BitTorrent?
Not BitTorrent. No, it's this folder you already have, and you put everything, like you put what you want to share in the folder, and then you also have a code for that folder, and whoever has that code automatically downloads the contents of that folder onto their computer.
Sounds like Dropbox.
Yeah, no,
it's a whole bunch of different things like that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mail everyone who wants to hear this a cassette tape with a very low res.
No, not even, Brian.
Bonus content.
What we do is we send a telegram with the transcript of this podcast.
Canagram.
We have some Gregorian monks hand transcribe this.
The special bonus edition cave painting will be out next month.
Yeah, the limited edition Soda Boys henge will be.
Oh my god!
Our Sumerian clay tablets will be in the stores soon.
Brush up on your cuneiform. We got a special release coming out. Nah, man, this is in linear A.
Oh god, we need to close this off. Oh my god, we've been going for so long.
Oh, I think this is the longest one now, right?
Yeah, by far.
Oof.
I think we already signed off too.
We did.
Yeah.
We should just post this.
We
as a
signed off
bonus
minutes
episode.
ago.
Yeah, we can just end it. We can just.
Bye.